Ever since the House passed the One Big Beautiful Bill and sent it to the Senate, we've had increasing momentum for this legislation. It's grown rapidly. Despite the abundance of false narratives, the more the American people hear from us about the bill, the more they like it, because they understand that this is written for and geared towards hardworking Americans. Republicans are going to do what we said we would do, and we will do it apparently without the Democrats' help. We're going to stop illegal immigration, restore American energy dominance, bring back common sense, keep taxes low for American workers and families, and get this economy going again while we restore peace through strength. And
just a little while ago, the president suggested the deadline on the Big Beautiful Bill may slip beyond July 4th.
No. We're going to get it done by Independence Day. It's going to be a great celebration.
What I'm suggesting is that we can add some money to the border, but what they're asking for is excessive. And I'll give you an example. For the fence, they want $46.5 billion. Well, I did the math on this. The current rate, according to the Border Patrol, is $6.5 million per mile. That would be $6.5 billion for 1,000 miles. Nobody's really estimating there's more than 1,000 miles that could be fenced at this point. So that's $6.5 billion versus $46.5. Where's all the money going? I've asked the Trump administration, where's all the money going? As far as hiring new people, I would hire some new people. I would give some bonuses. I'd probably do half as much as what they're asking for, because the border is largely controlled right now. And what we don't want is, when we wind up looking back at this, have an army of Border Patrol agents that we have on the hook for payments and pensions and everything else. We need to do it judiciously and not in a reckless manner.
Well, it is a critical week on Capitol Hill for the Big Beautiful Bill. That was House Speaker Mike Johnson, followed by Senator Rand Paul. Different views in the House and Senate right now, as Senate Republicans are set to meet with House committee chairs tomorrow, with just 3 legislative weeks left until the July 4th passage deadline. Joining me now is Ohio Congressman and the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, a member of the House Oversight Committee as well. Mr. Chairman, it's great to see you. Do you have any sense as far as where we are on this bill and when you were expecting it to come from the Senate back to the House with the Senate's changes?
No, I think we're in a good place, and I think the Speaker's right. I think we can get this done by the 4th or close to it, but I think it's going to get across the finish line. And I tell people this is a good piece of legislation, and the main way you know it's a good piece of legislation is the fact that the Democrats hate it. They hate it because it cuts taxes. It says to able-bodied adults, if you're getting taxpayer money, you're going to have to work. It secures the border, and it gives parents school choice. And the left hates that because that's empowering families, not empowering government. So this is a good bill. Do I wish it saved a few more dollars? Of course, we all do, but we got to get the votes. It's a good piece of legislation. I think in the end it gets across the finish line, and this is going to help our economy. More importantly, help mom and dads keep more of their money to chase down their goals and dreams, to send their kid to the school that's going to give them the best education, to make sure our borders stay secure, and say to that person who's an able-bodied individual getting taxpayer money, guess what? You're going to have to go to work. Those are good, fundamental, conservative, common sense principles that are in this legislation. And again, I think in the end, that's why this passes.
One of the provisions in this bill expands and enhances what's called Section 891. And I wanted to ask you about that because, you know, you're talking about the view of the Trump administration that taxes are unfairly discriminating against U.S. companies. And, you know, you've got the digital services tax from Austria, Canada, Denmark, France, India, Italy, Poland, Spain, Switzerland, Turkey. The OECD Pillar 2, 15% global minimum tax, and then a diverted portfolio tax in UK and Australia. Do you think that stays? I mean, because the tax code is going to look different, right?
Yeah, the tax code is going to look different. I think it's going to be better for American companies. I think it's going to be better for American families, which is what we told people we were going to do when we ran for the job. And I think as there's other issues I talked about, I think it's going to make sure our border, which has already been secured by President Trump and his team, I think it's going to make sure that the resources there to keep it secure. That's the part that we focused on in our committee. And I will tell you this, in answer to Senator Paul, Maria, the White House initially asked for $110 billion for agents, for detention beds. And we got that down to $80 billion. We saved money there that they initially wanted. We think we did it in the right way, in the smart way, but gave them the resources that's going to allow them to keep the border secure. Of course, the Ways and Means Committee put together the tax provisions that we think are going to help our economy grow. But most importantly, let moms and dads, let families keep more of their money.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Senator Rand Paul, was talking about less money even after you got it down, less money even as we're watching what's unfolding in L.A. I mean, the president ordered 2,000 more National Guard troops into Los Angeles on top of 700 Marines sent by the Defense Department. These anti-ICE riots are stretching on for a fourth day. I mean, right now it's 5:30 in the morning. So I think things are calmer right now. But Governor Gavin Newsom confirmed that the state is going to sue the Trump administration for activating the National Guard, even as he dared the administration to arrest him. Mr. Chairman, your reaction?
Well, the left always gets it backwards. The left always gets it wrong. I mean, here you have the governor of a state where people are rioting, destroying property, throwing rocks and things and bricks at cars and police. I mean, it's ridiculous. And what does the left do? They defend the rioters. I mean, this is just one more example of how the left is crazy and always gets it wrong. And God bless President Trump for bringing in the National Guard and trying to bring some order back to the community. You know who I think would appreciate this the most is the families who live there and are tired of the disruption and all the protests and all the rioting and all the things that are going on. They're the ones who appreciate this. I think President Trump's doing the right thing. But again, the left always gets it wrong with Gavin Newsom now going to sue the White. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Well, I mean, look, we're looking at a graphic right here of the ICE arrest. I mean, there's their pictures, but I think what's more important than their pictures is some of their convictions. I mean, you've got people who are Mexican nationals, Filipino nationals who are already been convicted of child molestation, being armed with a dangerous weapon, convictions for rape, assault, burglary, theft, convictions for sex with a minor, narcotics violations, murder, convictions for domestic violence, hit and run, previous attempt, and arrest for willful cruelty to a child. I mean, these are the arrests that have taken place recently in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the left's position is don't arrest the bad guys and send them back to their country. Don't do that. Don't deport the bad guys. Let them stay here. And oh, by the way, in addition to that, let them riot and cause all kinds of problems in L.A. That makes no sense. And President Trump has said enough is enough. We're going to send in the National Guard. We're going to try to get order, and we're going to protect people in those communities. This is, again, I just keep saying the Democrat Party, not all Democrats are crazy, but the left that now controls their party is. And you see it time and time again on issue after issue. The left, I mean, it's crazy to defund the police. That's their position. It's crazy not to have a border. That's their position. It's crazy to say, oh, don't send the bad guys who are here illegally back to their country. Make them stay here. That's crazy. It's crazy to say the police are the problem when they're out there trying to stop this rioting and stuff that's going on. They always blame the wrong people. The left's positions are ridiculous.
Well, I mean, what do you think about what's going on in L.A.? I mean, when you have an open border, as we did for 4 years, I mean, you have to imagine that, I mean, President Trump said there's 20 million people, and they were all unvetted, you know, you've got millions of gotaways. So how many people here who are protesting and against ICE are outside agitators? How many people are actually illegals who came over the border through Joe Biden's open border? What do you think?
Well, I assume it's a mix, but you're right, Maria. When you intentionally, deliberately, willfully do what the Biden administration did, starting on day one, never forget what they did back on January 20th, 2021. Day one, they said, no more building the wall, no more remain in Mexico policy, and when you get here as an illegal, you will not be detained, you will be released. Well, when you send those messages on day one, everyone comes. And we saw 10 million come during the 4 years of the Biden administration, and now we're seeing the results of that. So my guess is it's all the above. It's probably some here who are here illegally. It's probably some agitators and left-wing crazy groups. It's probably all of that. But that just underscores why President Trump thinks it's appropriate, and I agree with him, to get the National Guard in there and try to get control of this situation.
Yeah, I mean, it also reminds us of the question of who the heck's idea was this in the first place, to have a wide open border. I mean, Barack Obama's White House physician says that Joe Biden's doctor should have performed a cognitive test to evaluate his fitness to serve. The former president's White House physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, has been subpoenaed in the investigation. Mr. Chairman, what's the latest on Oversight's investigation into Biden's autopen? I mean, whether it's the wide open border or 40-year high inflation or, you know, boys and girls sports, I mean, who made these decisions?
Yeah, look, we're going to try to find out, but I think it's obvious Joe Biden wasn't up to the task. I think we all saw that. Maybe more importantly, I think the Democrats knew he wasn't up to the task, and we know that they knew because they wouldn't give us the audio tapes from Special Counsel Hur's investigation when we went to court to try to get him, and they kicked him off the ticket. So even the Democrats knew he wasn't up to the task. Now, will we be able to determine if he actually had, if there were other people making decisions, signing documents, will we be able to determine that? We'll have to see, but my gut tells me unless we have some kind of whistleblower who's going to come forward and say, yeah, so-and-so signed things, did things without any type of okay, any type of approval, any type of decision from the president, unless we get that, I don't know that we can prove it. But everyone knows he wasn't up to the task, which is unfortunate for our country, unfortunate for him. But like I said, even the Democrats knew, or they wouldn't have fought us on the Hur tapes, and they would have let him run for president.
Unbelievable. All right, Congressman, we're watching your work as always. It's great to see you this morning, sir. Thank you.